All right, y'all, so we back. So listen, again, Happy New Year, all that good stuff and everything like that. But listen, question, have you ever felt like you're so close, but yet so far away from the truth? That's how I've been feeling lately. As far as the UFO drones, as far as the orbs, as far as everything, conspiracy theory-wise, everything, like, I feel like we're so close to the truth, but yet so far away. But our goal is the truth, and we have to search for that. If it's the last thing that we do, we have to continue to search for the truth. We got to, man. We need to know, and that goes for everything you can think of that you may have a theory about or whatever. We got to find the truth. All right. So let's get into some of this crazy stuff, man. That's being talked about.
Some kind of brain-human interface, mix that in with some quantum chip that, yeah, right now, it's apparently unstable. It's like you got to keep it at, like, you have to keep it at the low, I don't know what it's called. It's like colder than space or something. Like it has to be basically below freezing. And then suddenly it can do things that all of the supercomputers on the planet couldn't do. But there's a trajectory here between the human brain and this technology, and it's getting closer and closer and closer together, meaning that we are, and a lot of people are like, look, that's probably like 20 years away. That is not that long. When did Teen Wolf come out, man?
I don't think it's anywhere near 20 years. I think it's way closer than that.
That's right. So that to me, when you just do the math and you realize humanity is about to merge with a thing that is solving equations that take a supercomputer, what is it, double?
Septillion amount of years.
That's going to be us.
Yeah.
And so then, to answer the simulation idea, of course we're in a simulation. If we were just monkeys, and now we are using qubits, using superpositioning to create some infinitely faster way of calculating data, then obviously, once we get that thing connected to our brain, we will be able to simulate any reality we want. Neural lace.
That's insane to think of. And yes, sometimes we don't think about it and we feel like it's so far away, but he has such a great point. Bro, it's here. It's here. The next phase, the next wave, the next whatever it is here now. And this is a crucial moment in our lives, bro. It's so crucial how we proceed forward. I feel like humanity has been the greatest social experiment ever. And none of this exists without us. So ultimately, kind of like we're responsible for whatever happens. Like, if it's our demise, we're responsible for our own demise. Because we had a hand in some of this stuff that is taking place and that is to come, and that's scary.
Listen, stop asking what are the Dior bags. They are the drones. They are the drones. Okay? Planes are Pradas. And Oscars are orbs. Okay? Just go and listen, Bethany Frankel. She's right there. Okay? Go in the search. You can find her. She will explain everything.
I bet the company Dior is loving all of this. I bet they're loving this because now this is gonna send their company, their bags and everything else through the roof. But it's sad that we have to come up with like code words to use to be able to discuss things that are happening in our actual world. Is that not crazy to y'all?
She has everything that is going on behind the scenes. Okay? So stop asking what are the Dior bags. Listen.
Dior bag update. This one's kind of complicated, but I think you'll get it. So think about how we used to not have wireless phone service. There used to be wires. And like, what would the idea of making phone calls without wires be? So that's kind of what's going on with the Oscar de la Renta and the Prada bags in the closet, because they are creating optical illusions. They are one thing and they may morph into another thing, and it sort of suspends reality for us to think, like, what are they and what are they doing? It looks like the Dior bags become orbs or plasmoids. There are real Dior bags, and these also exist. These Prada and Oscar de la Renta bags also exist, and they do appear to be morphing, and everything is intentional. And to see how we will react, and also many of these things are sentient, so they react, they feel, they observe, so they could be observing us. There are so many different possibilities, but
did y'all see the video with the lady standing outside and the thing just going around her? Like, that, you can pretty much imagine that's what it's doing from afar in the sky. It's almost like it's sitting there with a clipboard and it's just looking, taking notes, looking at us, taking notes, looking at us, taking notes. And for some of us, we felt like that's what's been happening since the beginning of time anyway. You know what I mean? It's just now we've progressed so far. Our intelligence as a species, as a human species, has just advanced so much that they're here, possibly here studying us more to see how far we've progressed. Now, what are they going to do with that information? That remains to be seen, but that definitely is a theory of mine.
it's just about us realizing that technology is easily decades more advanced than we know about, and the things we're seeing probably are also archaic in comparison. We just have to suspend what we know to be reality and realize that so many things are possible that blow our minds off. I mean, think about cave people thinking about an airplane taking off, or a massive mega ship floating in the ocean. Many things are possible. It's just hard for us to digest that. Dior bag update.
Since everyone is sharing videos of the extra large Dior bags everywhere, I just wanted to share this video that I took in 2018 over the 101 highway in downtown Los Angeles. Basically, this thing, like this ball, shot out another ball in the sky, as you can see, and then the other one is just like radiating. It looked like they were like talking to each other or something, or sending some sort of signals. All the other cars around me were just completely stopped in their tracks, looking up at the sky like Chicken Little.
And then it looks like it's like something hit it and it just exploded, and it's expanding or separating into two, or it's shape-shifting. I don't know, bro. Like, and then you seen something inside of it still kind of swirling around. This is crazy that we're even having to question what these things are and no government entity is saying anything to us. We're just out here on our own. We're out here on our own, bro. This is crazy, but looking at that, I don't know what to make of that, bro. So many different things come to mind. Bro, now tell me that's not making you think about what we've heard them turning animals into, right? Saying that you could walk out your front door and a bird you think is a real bird out there could be a drone, and it's sitting there spying on you and listening to you. You get what I'm saying? Like, so when you see something flapping in the sky, you're like, oh, that's a bird. But then you see little lights flickering from it. Now you're sitting there contemplating, is it really a bird? Oh, now I got to watch what I say. You got to watch what you say regardless. Now, anyway, everything in your home is listening. Everything in your home is listening. So now it's like, you know, when you watch the mob movies and they turn the music up, well, when you turn the music up, is your radio listening? Is your music box listening? Whatever you're using that device still listening to you, recording your conversation? Or they would go speak in certain places, maybe outdoors somewhere where they know somebody's not close, or in a basement. But there's no longer any of that. None of that's possible these days.
If you have fog in your area, this is your service announcement to go change your air filters in your air conditioners and your air filters in your air purifiers. No idea what I'm talking about. There has been a lot of talk on TikTok about the fog in a lot of areas, as well as the Dior bags. So both of these topics might have to do with each other. I don't know. But all I know is that I have been reporting for the past couple weeks that my air purifier has been going cuckoo bananas and staying in the red. I've had this thing for 4 years. It's never gone over 100. I checked it the other day.
Okay, here's my theory. I'm gonna try to keep up with the codes. This is like the third time I've had to record this. All right, so I'm gonna start off with Occam's razor, right? Simplest explanation is the most possible. And so this is just so that I can sleep at night. I've been scouring the internet trying to figure out like what is the most likely answer here. And I think it has to be that they are preparing for a Carrington event. Okay, we are under very strong solar storms right now. We've had 3 big coronal mass ejections in the last 24 hours. There's news saying the northern lights can be seen as low as Ohio. That's pretty low for the northern lights. It's not as low as it has been throughout this year. There's been parts of Southern California that even saw it. Texas saw it. So it's definitely been an increased year for solar output. The Dior bags are ours, and they're monitoring radiation, solar radiation, electromagnetism. Again, I don't really know. I'm just connecting dots here. At night, so that they can potentially shut down the grid and protect it. Whether they can even protect the grid, I don't even think we're not necessarily sure.
And that's cool. So if that's the case, then why can't they come out and say that? I think that's gonna be my rebuttal to people who say it's for some reason they come out and say, hey, it's nothing you need to worry about. It could potentially be this. Okay, cool. Then why aren't they talking about it? Why aren't they saying that to us? If it's that simple, they can come out and tell us.
But to try to protect it from electromagnetic damage, okay? And it makes sense because they're taking off and landing from bases, right? So San Diego is a base. Ohio has a big base. New Jersey has a big base, okay? So that checks out too. And then the fog thing could just be a warm winter, but the smart dust, again, if it contains tiny sensors, transmitting weather, electromagnetic data, radioactive data, who knows? But this just connected a lot of dots for me so that I could sleep. If it helps you, great. If not, no big deal. Catch y'all later. Go touch grass.
This is weird. Did you see in my earlier videos how the sky was completely clear? I could see stars. Now look at this is the crazy stuff that everybody's talking about, fog and stuff. Now look at the entire sky is one big cloud. See, like where I was previously filming where the drones were? Look at the cloud cover. Look at, and this is where I was filming the stars. Look at, completely covered in clouds. Very convenient.
Do you have an air filter in your AC unit in your home or in your car? Are you in an area of the country right now who is experiencing a lot of fog? If you are in such an area and you're seeing this video, I'm going to give you something to go look at right now. Go look at the air filter in your car and go look at the air filter in your air conditioner of your home. Be sure to replace them, but I just want you to see the color of your air filter right now. Some of you guys have just changed that air filter last month, right? You change it every single month. I want you to go look at the color of the air filter in your home and in your vehicle. They're saying these Dior bags. They're saying that the Dior bags may be related to the color that you're seeing on your air filter. I'm out.
Wait. So now I gotta go back. Cause I cut this. Hey bro, all the code talk, I get some of it, but I didn't get it all. This kind of like drug talking a little bit. So now y'all really piqued my interest. But the code and everything, I kind of cut this lady's video off earlier that I showed. But now I'm gonna go back and watch the whole video because I thought she was really literally, I'm a little slow, yeah, I admit it. Because I thought she was really talking about some air filter. I was like, look at us being adults telling everybody change their air filter. No, I caught a lot of the code, but hers, she threw me off when I really felt she was really giving an advertisement. Let me see, can I find her again?
If you have fog in your area, this is your service announcement to go change your air filters in your air conditioners and your air filters in your air purifiers. No idea what I'm talking about. There has been a lot of talk on TikTok about the fog in a lot of areas, as well as the Dior bags. So both of these topics might have to do with each other. I don't know. But all I know is that I have been reporting for the past couple weeks that my air purifier has been going cuckoo bananas and staying in the red. I've had this thing for 4 years. It's never gone over 100. I checked it the other day and I was like, why is this not cleaning the air? It usually just stays red for some time, maybe 30 minutes at the most, and it turns green again. I started by making videos about the allergens that were in Texas and that they're off the chain. But now, after I've seen a lot of TikToks about this fog, it might be something else. I don't want to be one of those conspiracy theorists, but all I want to say is if you have fog in your area or you want to be proactive, change your air filters.
Clovis, California. Right where our hospital is. They have arrived. They have arrived.
Did you guys see the Bethany Frankel Dior bag masterclass? If you didn't, check out this video from yesterday. If you did, I got a little bit more for you today. Trend exploded because TikTok loves engagement. People couldn't stop talking about it. They couldn't stop sharing it. They couldn't stop commenting on it. And just like me, they couldn't stop making their own videos about it. And I can't believe there's still a few of you who don't know what Dior bags are. It's pretty simple on this platform. More engagement equals more visibility. And when you talk about Dior bags, you're gonna get more visibility. The algorithm pushed the trend out, which caused more comments, which caused more virality. And that's why you're hearing about Dior bags more and more now. So if you...
They're going somewhere. Oh my God.
I don't know about y'all, but that horrifies me. Because I always say, pay attention to the animals. Animals always tell you, whether they say with snakes, and they can tell you when earthquakes coming or different ones. They'll tell you when some type of natural disaster, birds flying all crazy, you see a fly just going somewhere. That's your cue that something's about to happen. Now, I don't know if it's for the winter or what, but that should be an indication that something is about to happen. You should be asking yourself, what's going on, and am I prepared? Simple.
Alexa, what is smart dust?
Smart dust is a technology concept for creating tiny, wireless sensors that can be used for a variety of applications, including biomedical monitoring, environmental monitoring, and industrial monitoring. These sensors are designed to be small, low cost, and energy efficient, and they can be used to collect various types of data. The dust-sized devices would be wirelessly powered and communicate with each other and a base station.
Alexa, what is smart dust?
I keep telling y'all, bro, we are the greatest experiment right now. They're studying us, and for them to be able to can you believe that, bro? Release maybe a fog or some dust, smart dust that can monitor you. Now, I ain't saying you got to start putting up the newspaper over your windows and get you some better filters and put your tinfoil on and don't allow. I ain't saying go crazy, but I'm definitely saying be aware of what could possibly be happening, fam. Smart dust? Oh, they taking it up a level.
Okay, this is the footage I have captured during my live stream last week. And some of you, I'm pretty sure, remember this. The Dior bag. Not only me experience this, but many around the world witness the same thing what I have captured during my live stream. And I just don't know how we're gonna find out the truth of what exactly is going on. I'm talking about this as I'm here in the hospital, and I don't know, share your thoughts.
I think I'm the only one that sees the Dior bags in the sky. Like, I'm so used to them at this point. Like, I wave at them, and one time it stopped. The bag stopped. And I was just looking at it like, is it my day? You know what I mean? Is it my time? And it just kept going. I was like, oh, okay. Because, my soul is not on this earth. It's with the Lord. So at this point, I take it as like, you know what? I don't care. Whatever you do, I don't care anymore. No one seems to care. Like, I point to the bags in the sky. No one looks up. Like, I have so many videos of it, and I can't promote these bags because, I love my life too much. One time, the Dior bag was just like in the sky, just sitting there. And I was in the middle of doing something for my friend, and I look up, and it's like just sitting there, and I was like, nope. Oh well. Because at this point, I don't know what to do, right? If it flies through my backyard, I literally just see it, just the Dior bag, just, boom. And I'm just like, I'm not walking in fear every single day anymore. You know what I mean? So if I see a Dior bag, it is what it is. But it's just crazy because, like, no one else has seen them. And I, like, work at a really, like, busy office. No one has seen them. None of the patients saw these Dior bags. None of my coworkers, none of my, like, doctors, right? My mom is the only one that saw these Dior bags with me. And it's only when she's with me. That's why I'm just like, what is going on? What is going on? But I digress. I just want to add this too, because I see a lot of people say like, oh, the footage that I'm seeing about these Dior bags are really like grainy. They're not really clear. And I'm like, well, yeah, because they only come out at night. They only showcase themselves at night. So yeah, most people are not walking around with a professional camera with them to take pictures of these Dior bags. The only time I saw them in the daytime was around like 5 something, and it's because of the daylight savings that it kind of saved it a little bit. Like, it was starting to get dark at like 5, so I kind of got a good, angle of these bags. But all in all, it's like, yeah, they only come out at night. So, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. I think I'm the only...
Listen, join the club. None of us know what to do. Nobody knows what to do. And I'm never telling anyone to be just fearful and walk around in a state of fear and panic all the time. Never that. We're not going to do that. We're going to figure it out together. You know what I mean? Just be aware. Just be aware. But yeah, none of us know what to do. If it comes in our yard, if it just crashes into our, like, nobody knows what number to call. Nobody knows course of action to take. Nothing. We don't.
So I'm all about opinions until you start questioning facts. And the fact is, these drones are not personal drones. They are the size of a car, an SUV, maybe larger. Okay? There's 15 swarming my own home every evening at 6 p.m. until 10, 11 o'clock at night. So let me show you this. So this music really adds to the suspense, but this is when I saw 15 over my house in one evening. We were out looking at Christmas lights in our neighborhood. This is not a personal drone. These are real and they're huge. And when you are in a predicament where you have literally so many coming over your home, and it's not just every other day, it's not here and there, it's every night, it's gonna make you start being suspicious. So just because people have not seen them does not mean it doesn't exist. Just because people are experiencing something in different parts of the country and or the world does not mean it doesn't exist. And I think that's the thing. I wish people would have learned from the pandemic that you might not be in the direct path right away, but it is never smart to assume that something isn't going to happen, that it's impossible to happen, because it's actually happening in front of people's eyes. You guys are going to be the one faced with hysteria when shit hits the fan, because we're not fearful, but we are being prepared. So I'm all about
15 in her in outside of her home every night. What I would literally have to start figuring out, like, okay, what is it about this area? Okay, what is it about our town, our city? All right, what are we known for? Like, I would really be trying to figure out different things that they could be there monitoring, looking for, studying, whatever. What's drawing them? Because that's a lot to be in one specific location. That would definitely have me, you know what I mean, on edge. 15? Yeah, that's a lot.
So I'll explain the Dior handbag situation in under a minute so that it all makes sense. From a real point of view, not a conspiracy theorist point of view, okay? The Dior handbags started showing up around late November, okay? Why? Because in Russia and Ukraine, handbags ended up being the most effective form of delivery of goods that ended up, you know, accomplishing the handbag's mission. So, in late November, Russia sent an intercontinental handbag into Ukraine. And then the United States said, "Oh, really? You think you have handbags?" And they sent up Gucci's, and they sent up Birkins, and they sent up Dior's, and they sent up everything over our own marketplace. That way, if we lose any of the bags, they don't fall into the hands of those who are not our allies. Those bags are a demonstration to the other nations that we have more bags. You may have some bags, but we have all of the bags. So it's a saber rattling of the bags, okay? These are not bags from another dimension. They are our bags, and the more confusion and the more problems that come up from them inspires and creates mass chaos, and that chaos lends itself to our handbag capitalist strategy. There. So
I get what he's saying. It took me a minute, bro, deciphering these codes, man. I don't know how I'm gonna feel later, bro. My brain is gonna be fried. But basically, I think what he was trying to say that this is ultimately a pissing contest. What we're witnessing is a pissing contest. Basically, saying no, ours bigger. We got more. We got better ones with better capabilities and better technology and more advanced. We're so far ahead of you. So they're popping up in other countries as a way to show who's got greater. You think that's what's taking place? Whatever happened to keeping everything top secret, never letting your enemies know what you got going on? Like, what happened to that? That don't seem like, but if that's according to his theory.
All over the country, people are claiming to feel sick after a long-standing fog. They say they smell chemicals in the air, and they feel blood in the back of their throat and also taste it. It's funny because last month I posted a video that sickness was coming. Sickness was coming for those who chose to stay in 3D. Pay special attention to who gets sick and who does not during this season, and you'll see that prophecies are nothing to be messed with. They all come true. And it's not necessarily a punishment, but it is a fact of life that sickness was going to come to those who indulge solely in the physical.
Now to the listeria outbreak linked to contaminated Boar's Head deli meats. With millions preparing to cook Thanksgiving dinner, the reassurances tonight after the E. coli scare involving those carrots and the warning about that ground beef.
I would not say that the food supply has necessarily gotten less safe, but I would also say I think there's a lot we could do to improve the safety of the food supply already, right? So one thing that is really hard is people like to say America has the safest food supply in the world.
With all the recent, like, I can't even eat a bag of chips right now because I'm worried. Y'all seen the recall on like Lay's and different things like that? Like, bro, who could say things are safe when I think this is the most recalls I've ever heard of?
That's a relative term, right? And that doesn't mean that the food supply is safe. Food comes from the ground or animals largely, so there's always some risk associated
Majority of foodborne illnesses in the U.S. are what we call sporadic or undetected small outbreaks. One person gets sick, a few people get sick, it never gets recorded, it never hits the press. The outbreaks are the tip of the iceberg, right? Now, the tip of the iceberg sometimes is difficult to find, so the number of outbreaks one sees, and more importantly, the number of outbreaks that end up in the press where the general population sees it, can vary tremendously from year to year or season to season.
You know, there's things that consumers can do, like cooking their food thoroughly, using separate utensils for raw and ready-to-eat foods, you know, cleaning up their kitchen and watching for cross-contamination. But ultimately, you know, we rely on the industry, who is ultimately responsible for preventing contamination, and the government for verifying that the industry is actually taking the steps that they need to prevent contamination or reduce the risk of contamination.